Today I'm making my first vlog. And the topic of discussion is zoloft. My experiences with it thus far. A little bit of background. I've had anxiety most all of my life. I mean, I don't know, since I was about like 12, I would guess, and not all of it, but when you start needing to have anxiety for, to get on the stick and succeed and all that other stuff. And throughout high school, I had a lot of it. Horrible acid reflux too. I think it was a lot of stress induced. Waking up, throwing up, stuff like that. Just nervous all the time, like sick stomach. And then, but it's always been decently manageable. A few times I've had, like throughout my life, if you don't take care of whatever the stress is, back in other forms, and the one that mine kept coming back as was like a health anxiety. So it would be like, oh, I have a headache, it must be a brain tumor. Oh, I feel a little funny, it must be blood cancer, you know, like leukemia. I don't know. There was always something, you know what I mean? And so, but it was more or less manageable. It was always like in the background. Well, at one point, life takes a turn, and it will find its way out. So it just so happens, I've never been into smoking pot. Drink moderately with friends. I never drink by myself. It's always like on a weekend, you know what I mean, or something like that. No drugs, something like that. Not even on any medicated drugs, like medications. So I decide one day that I am going to shed off my unrebellious ways. I'm gonna get high. Was that a mistake? Yes. Such a bad mistake. Well, come to find out, I don't blame marijuana, like specifically. I blame myself for one, having so much anxiety, and two, putting myself in this bad situation. Basically, I didn't know, because I don't smoke weed, so I didn't know like that, like tolerances are a thing. So I thought it was like maybe smoking a cigarette, which I don't smoke cigarettes either, but I just, you know, I thought, man, I'd be good. I'm a big 200-some pound guy, like I'll be fine. So I start hitting this blunt, I can say it, yeah, started hitting this thing, and I'm hitting it. I'm like, I'm not feeling much of anything, you know. Wasn't really doing a whole lot. And then stood up. Holy cow. Big difference. I stood up, and it was like I was drunk. I was like, whoa, like way, way high. So then my body decides, hey, this sucks. We need to go into fight or flight mode because we need to get away from this. So I just freaked out. I disassociated with like the world and like time, and it was bad. Like I thought that, you know, I felt like I couldn't get a grip on time. Time kept jumping, and then I couldn't pay attention. It was like I was just in a constant state of fight or flight, and that went on for probably at least an hour or two. Like it lasted a while, and then feeling hungover almost. Like you have that weird, you feel nauseous and weird and you don't feel like doing anything. Except for this time it was a little different. I felt like I was in a bubble is the best way that I've heard people describe it. So like nothing felt real. Like you could just look at your hand and be like, is this my hand? Or like it doesn't feel like it's my hand. Like you feel like you're in a dream. Like I remember I kept telling my wife, I feel like I'm in a coma and I just haven't woke up. Like I need to wake up. And it's a very scary thought. So when you already have anxiety, that thought, like right now, I have anxiety about like that. This is a really creepy thought. So that happened for a while, and then I kind of went into this like downward spiral of like being scared, not knowing what to do, not like the world felt weird, everything felt weird, I felt weird, and then so there was a few days even there, which is strange for me. I'm kind of an active guy. There was a few days even where I just like I could not get myself together. Like I was in bed at like 2 o'clock with the lights off, just sitting there trying to like nap this thing off or something. I don't know what I was doing. I was just in weird, scared mode basically. So, man, after that. That only lasted for a couple of days, and I was like, you know, I'm never one to like stay down, you know what I mean? I'm not that personality to just kind of let something just crawl all over me and just, you know, I smother myself in it. So I had this kind of fuck it moment where I was like, all right, well, I gotta figure this out. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I gotta figure it out. So I knew that it was stress-induced. I knew there was a lot of anxiety. I didn't know like all the logistics and like all the like the in-depths of what was going on. I just knew it was scary. So I knew I needed to fix some stuff. So what I did is, for about 6 to 8 months after that, I mean, feeling weird, waking up, going to work, feeling weird, I would just listen. Because I work in a job where I have the ability to listen to music while I work. So I would listen to like self-help, not you know, gonna try to hurt myself or anything, but self-help as in like financial freedom and you know, mastering the game and, you know, things like life. You know what I mean? Things to get good at doing life things. So a lot of Tony Robbins and Les Brown and Jim Rohn, all these guys. You can find them all on YouTube if you ever want to look them up. They're really awesome to listen to. They really get you psyched out. But yeah, and so slowly, and I mean slowly, but surely, I like kind of crawled out of that weird state. I mean, I'd say I was in that weird, I called it a DP state. It's depersonalization is what it ended up being called. Depersonalization, derealization. I was in that state for probably 5 months. And it was just grueling. Like, it just drug on. But you ended up finding yourself coming out, but like out of that state, but you don't realize that you're out of it until you're out of it. You know what I mean? You're just like, oh yeah, you know, I don't really feel, and then you'll have like these little weird, oh, I feel like that whole feeling for a little bit. You know what I mean? And then slowly it just kind of goes and goes and goes and goes away, until eventually you just have a little bit of anxiety, like normal anxiety, and that's what happened. So the good news is it was a blessing in disguise, because I had a lot of stuff that I needed to get in order. I was not, I mean, I make decent money, but I didn't have any like money behind me. Wasn't good with money. I was kind of blowing it like I was water. You know, it's one of those too much month at the end of the money kind of thing. And then started listening to those guys, the financial freedom guys, and blah blah blah. And now I have you know, a little security fund in case something happens. I got some money that I can fall back on, and I got my, you know, bills all in line. No late on anything anymore. Got all that shit like worked out. So that was good. That was, you know, it was just like the push that I needed to do that stuff. And, you know, I always say life has a way of pushing you to do it. The other thing was it helped me like work on my mind a lot more. It helped me, you know, push through and take steps like getting on a diet, losing some weight. I lost 30 pounds with keto. You know what I mean? So that was another thing that I had to do. Just trying to get everything in order. That way the bad feelings would go away. And eventually they did. Still had anxiety though. Still had, you know, it'd be like random though. I'd be like talking to somebody and all of a sudden you get this gut-wrenching, oh God, feeling. But you don't like make that. You're just like, yeah, of course. But inside you're like, holy cow, what the fuck's going on? So fast forward a little bit further. It's been a year almost on the nose. And I was feeling pretty good. Just a couple bad feelings here and there kind of thing, but I was kind of, you know, working around it, was feeling good, blah, blah, blah. So, I have a baby on the way with my wonderful wife, and I decide that this little bit of anxiety that I have left, which was manageable, you know what I mean, it wasn't like, I wasn't freaking out all the time or feeling, you know, like I need to go crawl up into a blanket, you know, I don't know what the word is, just be solitary, I guess. So I was feeling good. It was definitely manageable. It's just like, I guess, probably a little bit higher than normal people's anxiety, I would guess, because I overthink everything. So I decide that I want to kick this little bit of anxiety that I have left in the butt, because I got a baby coming, you know? So if I'm going to be getting up at night, or, you know, dealing with crying baby and all this stuff, I want to make sure that, like, I'm as on par as I can be with this situation. So I decide to tell my wife, hey, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Zoloft. I was on it once before, not for very long, especially in the start of feeling weird, in the start of all that bullcrap, because it made me feel worse. Like it was bad. I don't know. It wasn't helping anything. So I was like, you know, if I'm gonna fix this, I'm gonna fix it from the source. Blah blah blah. And so I did. Well, now I feel like the Zoloft can take over this little bit that I have left. So I start taking Zoloft. Well, day one, I think they wanted me to take like 50 or 75 milligrams the first time I did it a year ago, and so I only did that for a couple weeks, and then I stopped. This time, I was like, alright, well, 50 milligrams, I guess, is entry level, because, you know, I hear about people taking 50 milligrams, and I've heard people taking up to like 200 milligrams, you know, not people I know, but like online and stuff like that, which is like the max. So I was like, alright, I'll take 50. So I popped a 50 milligram on the way to work. While I'm at work, I'm just doing my job, and all of a sudden, I have, like, out of nowhere, like, I felt fine, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I have a panic attack, like it's an anxiety attack, it's not a panic attack, there is a difference, where I just kind of had that disassociated, weird kind of feeling. It wasn't as bad as a year ago when I had them then, but it was still, like, jarring, and I had to, like, sit there and, like, calm myself down, and I work in people's homes, so I'm, like, praying that they don't come upstairs and see me, like, trying to get my act together. And, yeah, I was dizzy and feeling weird and having this, like, anxiety attack in, like, this person's home by myself. And I just kind of stood there and said, I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid. Just kind of told myself that over and over. And eventually I kind of, like, felt a little better. And then, I don't know, I was freaking out for about 15 minutes or so. just trying to, well, not like for like just trying to get myself, you know, under control. So, got myself under control, and holy cow, not to be too explicit, but that, you want to talk about a laxative. It was about, I don't know, another 10 minutes after that, I just, like, cleared my bowel. That, like, I know that's a lot of information, but it just went right through me. And then I was like, I had a massive headache and all this stuff. So I called my doctor, and they go, you know, so probably should have called them in the first place. And he goes, yeah, you're not supposed to do that, man. You gotta start out lower. You gotta start out on 25. And I was like, oh, man. So, yeah, that sucks. So, here I am. So I take another one the next day. That was like 3 or 4 days ago. I think I'm going to pay Monday 4. So the next day, I break one in half, and I actually broke that in half, so it was like 12, because I'm like, I'm not doing that again. So I took a 12, and then the next day, which was yesterday, I took 12 in the morning and 12 in the early afternoon, so I got like the 25 in. And then today, bam, took 25, kind of amped myself up. And, yeah, so that's the backstory. And so now, what I didn't know is that in order for Zoloft and I think a lot of antidepressants to work, they bring you down before they bring you up. Somebody could have told me of that, because for the last 4 days, ever since I took the first Zoloft pill, my anxiety has been through the roof. I have been feeling like poo, like so bad, like poo. Oh my god, like so bad. So I honked my horn. Like, I've been like thinking about stuff. My vision's been blurry, which is another side effect. Keep that in mind too. Blurry vision. My vision's been a little bit blurry. I've been thinking that, oh, my vision's blurry. Oh, I probably have a brain tumor. Or, oh man, I probably have lung cancer, and the cancer spread to my blood, and now it's showing itself through my eyeballs because, you know, your eyes are sensitive, and here's all these reasons of why. I have no facts, by the way. I have no facts behind this. This is all just made up in my head. I literally talked to my doctor because we were there for a pregnancy appointment, and they said, oh, well, you know, I mean, you could have visual disturbances from being dehydrated or having a vitamin deficiency. Like, there's so many things that can cause this, but my brain, like many of yours, if you're watching this video, goes to like, oh my god, it's 0 to 100, like so fast. You know what I mean? It's never like, oh, my head hurts. Oh, I probably have sinus. It's that for sure brain cancer. For sure brain cancer. It's scary. It's a scary thought. So, and you know it's crazy. That's the crazy part. You know it's crazy. You know that you don't really think this. Like, you think it, but you know it's like the probability is insane. Like, think about all the people that you know. You know a lot of people on Facebook, a lot of people everywhere. How many people have brain cancer? How many? Did you know that? A lot of the brain cancer, like the statistics of how many people get brain cancer, so many of them, like a vast majority of the percentage of people with brain tumors, brain cancers, and there's a lot of cancers in general, but like that are the elderly, like the people, and I'm not talking like, you know, 50 years old, 60, because that's not elderly, it's middle age. But people like in their 80s and stuff like that, those people, like their shit's old. You know what I mean? So their cells aren't making, so that, you know, that's where you have the room for the defaulted cell. You know what I mean? But that in my head, it's different. In my head, it's like, yep, probably, dude. You know what I mean? I would probably say yes. You might want to get that checked out. And then you're scared to go get it checked out because you're like, oh, what if I'm right? I could be right about this. You start freaking out even more. Of something you just made up. You have no idea. Like I said, there's no facts here. No facts. It's just me being nervous, being anxiety. It's anxiety. It's horrible. So, yeah, I've decided that I'm gonna keep taking Zoloft. Because apparently, like I said, it's supposed to go down, bring it back up. So I'm gonna like write it out, because it's different this time, because now I know what to expect. Like I know how this anxiety works. I know, like, even though I'm feeling like crazy up in my head, that's what you feel like you're crazy. Here's a helpful tip though. If you think that you're going crazy, you're not going crazy. Because crazy people don't think they're going crazy. It takes a normal thought to say, I think I'm going crazy. Yeah, my doctor told me that one. Good to know. So anyways, I'm gonna keep chugging away here. Probably make another video tomorrow, and the next day, and then the next day, and then the next day. As far as symptoms or side effects, got blurred vision, irritable, I'm anxiety ridden, a lot of anxiety. Now was fine before. Now, nausea. In the mornings, I cannot eat anything. Other than that, pretty much it. Oh, my ends of my fingers get a little cold every now and then. I don't know if that's part of it, but I haven't had that since I started. So, but yeah, as far as that goes, I will keep you updated into day 2, or well, day 4, and going on to day 5. So, see you then.